Welcome to the truth for today. This video is called Changing a Homeless Man's Life, but this isn't just about me, and by the way, I am the homeless man. This is about you and the power you have to change my life. Just by watching my videos on my channel, I expose the truth about these megachurches. I offer real-world and realistic solutions to South Africa's crisis of poverty, unemployment, crime, and to ultimately wake people up who are so deeply involved with these churches that their lives are being controlled by the very place that's supposed to set us free. Help me achieve my goals of fighting back, rising above and ensuring innocent, vulnerable people reclaim their life back before it's too late. My goal is to set them free and break the shackles from these dangerous organizations pretending to be doing all things good. I encourage people to live a life like Christ and take on the responsibility themselves and help those in need and not rely on a third-party church to do the charitable work they pretend and claim to do. I want you to stay until the very end, because at the end of this video I will show you actual pictures of me and exactly where I am right now, what my life really looks like after being indirectly affected by those who are a product of the reborn Christian church here in South Africa. 3 months ago I was enjoying a lovely holiday in Durban with my now ex-girlfriend, a week in Cape Town with no worry in the world, and 3 months later I'm homeless, hungry, and living in a dilapidated house in a tiny room at the back. No water, no electricity, and nobody to talk to. I want you to see what happens when you stand up for the truth. I don't regret saying what I said, and I stand firm in what I believe was the right thing to do. What I said had no benefit to me, and I said things out of concern for a young lad's life and well-being, and could not bite my tongue any longer about the church's practices that I had witnessed, and how these family members have completely changed. Their once happy life before the church was a distant memory, and replaced by miserable faces, self-righteous attitudes, and a boring existence. When you refuse to be silent about people being brainwashed by their church, following blindly with no clue at all that they are part of a movement, a corporation, a cult that has convinced these people that their church is purely God's way, they couldn't be further from the truth. False prophets and cult-like churches that exploit faith. Let me take you back. I grew up in Bedfordview, Johannesburg. Good family, good school, excelling in sports and academics. I worked hard and traveled the world in my early 20s, becoming a water ski instructor, a lifeguard and camp counselor at a summer camp in Wisconsin, USA, a self-taught cocktail bartender and a fire security officer and bodyguard in London working for the BBC, and a successful salesman at Virgin Active UK. I was never afraid of work. I built businesses, hustled, and life was great, and fought for everything I had. But then life took a turn. I found myself speaking out against something that didn't sit right with me. I was staying with family when I saw their 13-year-old son consumed by video games, detached from the real world, bad manners, staying up all night every night playing video games while his parents sleep and nothing is said or done about it. His father spent all day working and then gave his Sundays up for free to serve the church, instead of spending time and having an interest in his 2 teenage boys and being a father that participated in his sons. Instead, he prayed at the church for his son to eventually get over the phase, not realizing that his son's behavior had spiraled out of control and was in desperate need of his father's intervention. So I spoke up. I told them the truth. I told them this was a problem, and I told them their church was a cult. If you have to serve at the church for free, giving up your time every week, and the church is turning a profit off your hard work, then that is exploitation. That is not serving Jesus like they have brainwashed them to believe, but serving an organization with a very clever business model to maximize their profits. They sell Bible study courses when learning about the Bible is free. And for that, I was kicked out. Just like that. Homeless, no job, no money, no support. My family have literally turned their backs on me when I reached out to ask for anyone to help with a place to stay, and a job if possible, because the family I was staying with was also the family I was working for. I poured my heart and soul into the work I did for them, going the extra mile, working for free on weekends to help his struggling business because of money mismanagement. I really tried my best and didn't complain when asked to do work. I now live in a broken, abandoned house with no electricity, no water, and battling to get food every day. My girlfriend of 5 years did the same and just ignored my call for her to help this after spoiling her in January, where I took her away and spoiled her. I settled all my debts and renewed my driver's license with the intentions of being able to buy a new car, as the year ahead looked promising with the potential business we had lined up from last year, and just like that, with no warning, I was out, and nothing to my name. People I've helped in the past, they've all turned their backs on me. Not one person has checked in to see if I'm even alive after I reached out and said I needed urgent help, as I was kicked out of a heavily devout Christian home for trying to make them see what they are doing as parents is terrible, and the church they go to is a cult, and the people who claim to follow Jesus, they treated me like an enemy for simply telling the truth. As a parent myself, I couldn't let what they were and probably still are doing to their son is outright wrong. This church has changed all of them, and not for the better, but for the very worse. My cousin confided in me just before I was kicked out, saying that her marriage was in trouble, she despised her husband, and life was miserable. I said to her that from where I was sitting, the biggest problem was that the church had come between everyone. She then asked me why I don't believe. It was then when I realized that they have been so brainwashed that if you don't believe in their church, you're a non-believer. But I refuse to break. I refuse to accept defeat, and I refuse to let them think I'm not worthy of a normal life. And here's where you come in. I don't want your money, I want your help to get this message out. If you're watching this right now, you can change my life today, without spending a cent. Here's how. First, subscribe to this channel. Every subscriber brings me one step closer to being eligible to earn money from YouTube, so I can turn my life around. Second, like and comment. Tell me what you think. The more engagement this video gets, the more YouTube pushes it to others. And third, share this video everywhere. Send it to your friends, post it on social media, show it to people who need to hear this message. I am living proof of what happens when you stand up to the lies of modern churches, but I will not be silenced. I will not give up. God's plan never fails. That's the mantra I repeat to myself every single day. Although I have landed up in a place that is very unpleasant, I look at the why, and I was put here to help a young man staying here who is battling alcoholism, drug abuse and depression. I think God put me here in thus dilapidated house to help a young man that lives here and is also struggling. I think I got here just in time as he was having suicidal thoughts, as he has also been rejected by his family who coincidentally go to the same church as my family. I've accepted my fate and I know that I will rise above all this. So if you believe in truth, if you believe in justice, if you believe in second chances, help change a homeless man's life today. I'm the homeless man. You see, I always see the glass half full as opposed to half empty. I am here because I believe the Lord put me in this situation to open my eyes, and oh boy are they wide open. He put me here knowing I would not just accept what has happened and lie down. He knew I would make a noise and try help others around the world see the truth. God chooses his soldiers wisely. Subscribe, like, comment, share. And watch until the end. I'll show you exactly where I'm living right now. This is real. This is my life. And this is why I won't stop. I will show you a picture of me on holiday in January, enjoying life and anticipating a positive year ahead, and then 3 months later where I am now.